So by this point, hopefully you have your hello graphics popping up. There's so much more we're going to do with this, but that's the key. Past this is really just kind of figuring out how these pieces work together, how to get them on a screen, and basically then we'll piece it together, put it together. You need to now start some sort of mental design. You need to start planning out what you want your display to look like. You need to figure out what the pieces are now. But it's not vital to get all that figured out before you have an understanding what the capabilities are. I don't want you to get super frustrated because you want to go off and build your Star Destroyer flying in over your Tanta V4 and picking it up. Okay, that's a Star Wars reference. But you're not making a movie here. You might be able to get that far. But let's play a little bit, design a little bit. We'll go back and forth. So for now, I want to start with just playing a little bit. You're going to need to get to that big picture. Now, for the most part, the main class, we can forget about this until we come back to animation. That's part 2, if you will. So we just need to go off and draw. So what can I do in drawing here? So if I say g.draw, let's say I want to put a circle on here. See, nope, no circle. Well, what is there? We can just look through. Well, I'm going to tell you there's an oval. You can see right down here, draw oval. All right, so the oval, again, you start with an XY position. So let's say I want it to be over 100 and down 200. And the circle, let's make it 30 by 30. We'll make a perfect circle inside of there. So there's an oval. I'm going to draw it. And when I go run my code, boom, there's your circle. Over 100, down 200, 30, 30. If I say, that's kind of a small circle, I want a bigger circle, I can make it 50, 50. Oh, that's better. That is a little bit better circle. That's kind of what I was going for. Except for I didn't want it to be a circle. I wanted it to be a filled-in circle. Well, that's not draw oval. That's what's called fill oval. So I can do the same thing and fill it, and boom. There's a wait. That's black though. That's not my. My color is purple. I like purple circles. That's what I want to see. So how would I do that? Well, I can say G dot fill circle. Maybe there's a fill oval. No, wait. That's, oh, wow. It's code complete's running away with me. Again, this is where the tool sometimes helps you, sometimes hurts you. If you don't know what you're looking for and you're doing this tool, it's going to fill all sorts of stuff. So if I do fill oval, you can see there's no color option inside of here. Well, the way color works is it works like you're drawing with paint. What color do you paint with? Whatever color is in your hand at the time. So if you want to change the color, I can do set color, and that changes everything that gets drawn. So I say set color, and see it comes up C color.red by default because it just picks a color. But there are some default colors that are defined for you. So magenta is one color I could pick, and so since I love purple, purple-ish type things, I can say magenta, and I run it, and well, that's kind of pinkish. That's not really what I'm looking for, but it's better than black. Well, so maybe I want a custom color. How do I do a custom color? Well, let's see. I do color purple is equal to new color. And now you can see I can do RGB spaces, red, green, blue. There's a number of ways to make that happen. I'm just going to take the basic inside of here. So red, let's make it very red. I don't know what the range on this is. Let's make it 50. We'll do 0 on green and blue 50. That might be purplish. Now there are ways of being able to figure this out a little bit better. By the way, now I can go say purple here. All right. And okay, that's kind of purplish. It's a little bit dark, actually. What if I make that number smaller? If I make it 2020, what happens there? Ooh, it's even darker. It's very blackish right there. What if I make it bigger? What if I make it 200, 200? Oh, now we're back in the magenta space, so maybe somewhere in between. Let's try 100, 100. See what that looks like. Oh, see, that's a nice purple right there. So my point of this is, to some degree, you might have a little hunt and peck, a little trial and error. You can go off and research. You can go off and read more about it. You can figure out what the colors are. This is, as I said, just an RGB scale. There's some range of numbers which is going to mean something. you can figure that out and plug them in if you want to. Most RGB scales are hex numbers inside of there, and you can actually type in the hex numbers if you really want to. If you have something exactly that you want to match, probably for this that'd be a little bit overkill. But there is a way to make that happen as well. So again, there's my purple there, and so then after that, let's say I want to put some text underneath it. So g.drawString. I made a circle, woohoo! And I want my circle, my text to show up just underneath the circle. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, string and then the XY location. So we'll put it at 100, the same place. Yeah, let's put it at 90. We'll kind of center it underneath the circle. And then we'll put it at 210, just underneath the circle, right? So I made a circle. I'm going to run it. Oh, okay. So I'm overlapping my circle there, so that's not good. If I want it to be below the circle, oh, okay, so the 100, 200 must be the top of the circle. So the 90 moved over pretty nicely. Maybe I have to put it at 250. Maybe that'll be below the circle. Oh, not quite. Let's try 260. That might be a little bit better. No, that'd be a bit too far. Okay, that's a little bit better. And again, this is where it comes into tweaking. So I could say 263 and maybe move this to 85 or something like that. So a little bit of this is going to be trial and error. Oh, yeah, there you go. But wait, I don't want the text to be purple. Oh, yeah, that's right. The rule is whatever color I set last is what it gets drawn as. So if I want this to be black, I'd have to go g.set color to be color.black. Now the preferred is to use the capitals here because that's the Java standard. Anything that's a constant should be in capitals, but Java has lowercase ones as well, which is a legacy back to early Java. The preference is to use the high level ones. This is lowercase purple because I made the variable right there. If I made the variable final, which I could do, then I should do capital purple here. And that would be consistent, but again, that's a lot of personal choice right there. So that's better. I have a black text underneath. But you know that black text on the gray, it doesn't look really nice. I don't really love that. So I want to show you one other piece here. Before I even get started, there's something called set background. And the color of the background, we'll just leave it as yellow for the moment. Just picked yellow for whatever reason. It doesn't always work. You see, it didn't make it yellow. The background is kind of a little bit fuzzy, and I've never had a lot of success reliably using the background inside of panels. My preference is to just simply do fill rectangle, fill rect 0 0. All right, and then the width and height has to be as big as the window or bigger. I don't know what my window size is because I'm not setting that here. I'm setting it back over here. Now I could set 500, 600. And let's take a look at that. So if I hard coded here to be this to be 500 and this to be 600, when I run it, see it's some gray color I put inside there. I forgot to set my color before I started, right? So I need to do g.setColor. Let's do color.white. Let's make it a clear white background inside of there. And then I can't forget back here to go g.setColor to be black. So I have to be very, very attentive to what pen is in my hand at any different time. And so now, there I have a nice clean white background. But let me show you, if I resize, I still have the gray here. So what happened is every time I resize the window, it recalls paint. It's going to redraw this here, but it's only going to drop to the size. So the way I can get around that is I can actually have this be dynamic. Okay, and that's a little bit, you have to do a little bit of hunt and pecking, but I can say this dot get size. All right, and so size returns back to me, a dimension object. So dimension object. And then from that, I can see d.get width and d.get height. There's probably have a type, incompatible types. Yep. So let's do 0.0, 0.0 there, and that'll, oops, double to int. Sorry. Oh, there's only an int option of that. I apologize. I thought there was a double option of that. All I have to do is int here. Convert these to ints. This is what's downcasting again. I have to take the size, and so I'm going to just trap off the double. It's not going to make any difference anyway. When I run this again, now when I resize, you can see my whole background is white. So whether it's small or whether it's big, I'm repainting that, and my size is always, my background is always white. All right, so again, this is just some playtime. I want you to take a little bit of playtime inside of here. And in the break, do some playtime and then start thinking about what you want to build, what you want to design. Given the capabilities of this, again, you're going to have a little bit of stuff there. Now, don't settle in yet. We have another thing I want to talk about before you get totally embedded into it. But I want that to be in the back of your head. I want your play to be trying out things towards what you're going to do. So just start with colors, start with some basic shapes. We're going to do a fancy shape next, and then they'll hopefully get you a little bit closer to the thing you actually want to go off and build.